I interviewed my dad and my aunt about my grandparents. My grandfather, Fred Williams, was born in Fairmont, North Carolina. The two biggest events that impacted him were the wars, World War II and the Korean War. As soon as he was able, he enlisted into the Navy in Atlanta, Georgia. He served as a flight engineer and gunner on a PBM patrol bomber seaplane in the Pacific during World War II, and in Korea he flew classified missions on a P-2V Neptune seaplane. He survived 3 plane crashes, 1 in training and 2 in the Pacific. My dad says he remembers my grandfather saying that war was endless hours of boredom interrupted by moments of sheer terror. My grandfather was shaped by the experiences he had in Korea. He was stationed in Yokosuka, Japan, where he had lots of time to get to know the Japanese people and realized they were not the yellow devils he remembered. He grew fond of the people and culture of Japan. My grandmother, Helen Williams, was from Whiteville, North Carolina. She was a young girl when World War II was going on and remembers sitting on the roof of her house with her doll when she heard the war had started. This impacted her greatly. Her brother RP was in the war and she lived in fear that the Germans were going to walk across the field and attack her house. She remembered having to ration food and other items so that the boys in the war could have their supplies. She also remembered seeing cars with wooden wheels because rubber was needed for the war. The second big event in her life was marriage and family. She met my grandfather while working at a 5 and dime store in Fairmont, North Carolina. They were married in 1953. She had 4 children, 1 girl and 3 boys. When my grandfather got out of the military, he got an engineering job that moved them all around the country. My grandmother loved it. She loved being in new places. They lived in North Carolina, Texas, New Jersey, Florida, Georgia, and Virginia. My grandparents impacted my life so much. Because of my grandfather's military legacy, my dad and uncle joined the military. My dad was a commanding officer in the Navy for 21 years, and my uncle is still serving our country in the Army. I am so proud of them, our country, and its military. I share my grandmother's sense of adventure. Moving around so much as a child instilled that in me, and she fostered it by taking me to new places and showing me new things. I would not be the person I am today without the influence of my grandparents on my family and my life.